A woman who spent the life savings of a friend who had dementia has been spared from jail. Margaret Rigby gained legal control of Barbara Lewis's finances despite concerns from Barbara's own son. She then spent nearly £60,000 on luxuries and gifts. Now Nick Lewis wants the law to be tightened up so no one else can take advantage of vulnerable people. Charlotte Grant has the story.
They were friends for 40 years, but that trust was misplaced. For while Barbara Lewis on the left was slowly deteriorating from dementia, her friend Margaret Rigby was stealing £57,000 of her life savings. Arriving at court today, Margaret Rigby used the money to buy cars, a caravan and expensive gifts for her daughter Jane MacDonald, a retired nurse, and her son-in-law Alan MacDonald, seen here holding an envelope, a former policeman. As Barbara's health worsened, power of attorney and control of her finances were given to her friend Margaret, but that led to years of spending, even on the day of Barbara's funeral. The judge told Margaret Rigby she had shown great kindness in caring for Barbara Lewis, but said, "You seem to believe the time and care entitled you to spend her money. You deluded yourself into believing it's what she would have wanted." The judge gave Margaret Rigby a 2-year sentence suspended for 18 months, and her daughter and son-in-law smaller suspended sentences.
They abused my mum. She would be turning in a grave now if she knew what they'd done. And to show no remorse. They're not sorry for what they've done, they're just sorry for being caught.
Do you have anything to say to Barbara's family? Did you let your friend down?
Margaret Rigby escaped going to jail today, but the judge told her she'd not just let herself down, but let her lifelong friend Barbara down. But at least, she said, she's not here to witness it. Charlotte Grant, 5 News, Canterbury.
Barbara's son Nick is with me in the studio now, along with Karen Walton, a lawyer from Solicitors for the Elderly. Good evening to you both. Nick, we saw your reaction there at the end. You said that Margaret was more sorry for being caught rather than for what she did. Your reaction to the sentence she's been handed down?
Well, the fact that it's suspended, there is no punishment there. You know, she's basically got away with it. Spent on my mum's money, abused my mum's trust, and there's no consequence of her actions.
And this is a woman who was not only your mum's best friend, but someone you'd known since you were a boy.
She was my Cub Scout leader when I was very young and in shorts, but yeah, she's just she fooled everybody. She's a churchgoer, she's a charity worker. She just fooled everybody with this veneer of being this respectable charity-going churchgoer.
Her actions beg a belief. We'll talk to you in a second about what you would like to get changed, but it's important, Karen, to just talk first about why the power of attorney is so important for people.
Absolutely. Basically, it's important to have a power of attorney because you choose the people you trust, generally a family member, maybe a family friend, that you believe is going to make best interest decisions about you and actually, you know, will stand up and fight your corner.
So Barbara chose Margaret. She was, you know, a long friend. It seemed to be trustworthy. You can see why she thought that and went ahead and did it. But didn't do it with Nick as joint power of attorney. Was that doable? Why would that have happened?
Absolutely, you could have done it. Your mum could have appointed joint and severally with Nick. You know, that's definitely possible.
Which is a lesson for other people to learn if they're going through the same thing. The problem is, Nick, you challenged it. You didn't want Margaret to do it. You wanted to be made power of attorney on your own or as well.
I was more than happy to be joint power of attorney.
But you couldn't do that. Why not?
She refused.
And that's where the law is you think it's a problem?
It is. I mean, the main problem also is there's nothing in place to actually measure what the power of attorney does. So from the moment she was given that power, the first anybody could actually check on what she'd done was upon my mum's death and the reading of the will. That's the first we knew about it.
So you are lobbying to get this change. Your MP also happens to be the Attorney General. Are you getting a sympathetic ear from him?
Yes, I spoke to Jeremy Wright, and again, he actually thinks that my proposals that I put to him have got some merit, to the point where he spoke to the Justice Minister, Caroline Dinenage, to see whether something can be done. So there is some kind of monitoring during the power of attorney. With wills, we have executors to make sure everything's done correctly. Why not with a power of attorney?
Karen, particularly important as we've got an ageing population, more and more people will be thinking about this. We hear about dementia becoming more prevalent. What other lessons can they learn from this case?
It's really difficult because at the end of the day, you try and put the trust in people. You're never going to stop somebody if they are hell-bent basically to you know, defraud somebody.
Although that is a crime in itself, so hopefully they would be caught doing that.
Yeah, it's just trying to put the processes, get proper legal advice, go to accredited solicitors, go through all the options that are open to you, maybe put restrictions on the documentation that either accounts have to be produced every year, maybe to an independent accountant or something like that, but really get proper legal advice.
Be rigorous.
Absolutely.
Thank you both very much indeed.
Thank you very much.